ahead and get started. And let's make our way onto our back body if we're not there already. And as always in Shavasana, we can start with with a bend in the knees, or if we'd like to have our legs extended out, if that feels better, you can do that. Either one is perfect. Let's just make sure that our spine is long across the floor, the back of the neck is long across the floor, and our shoulder blades are tucked underneath. And our muscles start to relax and soften. And starting to notice any sensations we feel in the body. So we can notice our breath, our heartbeat. Maybe even a sense of our circulation moving. And maybe even a really subtle sensation of energy pulsing in the body. And as we end this next exhalation, let's start to rock our head side to side, just waking up the neck and shoulders a little bit. Looking as far to the left and right as you feel comfortable to go. And the next time we're over towards our left, let's pause there and imagine reaching your right shoulder down towards your feet. And taking a deep breath into the right side. Allow that pressure to relax and then rock your head so we're facing over to the right. And this time imagine reaching the left shoulder down towards your feet. Breathing into the left side of the neck. And then allowing that pressure to relax, we'll bring our head back to center. Let's take a big wake-up stretch, extend your legs out, reach your arms overhead, start to make some ankle rotations, any other movements through the hands and feet, if that feels good. One more time, let's inhale really deep. And as we exhale, bring your knees into your chest, we'll hug them in, rock side to side, just massaging the back body, waking up the spine a little bit. Just one more time in each direction. Starting to coast to a stop, let's move into bridge posture. Our feet go to the floor by our sit bones. Tuck your shoulder blades. If we find that our neck is kind of scrunched up a little bit, let's lengthen the back of the neck. And when we're ready, pushing down into the floor, lift your hips. as high as you feel comfortable to go. And you might even kind of imagine that there's a block in between your knees as well that you're squeezing together. Two more breaths. And as we take that second exhalation, let's go ahead and lower ourselves back down to the floor. We can windshield wiper our knees side to side, just massaging the low back. And then coasting to a stop. One more time, big wake up stretch, extend your legs out, arms reach overhead, inhale deep, making up any other movements that might feel good. And as we exhale, bring the knees back into the chest. We're gonna take our arms out into a big letter T and move into knee down twist. So dropping your knees over to the left, if it feels okay on your neck, we'll start to look out towards the right. But if that doesn't feel so great, just look up towards the ceiling. Let all your muscles soften. Feel your breath. And then taking your knees up and over to the right, looking out towards the left if that feels okay. Again, our muscles relax and soften. We're just noticing any sensations we feel. And then our knees come back into center. Let's hug them in again. And take a few rocks side to side. Coasting to a stop. One more time. Taking that same bridge posture. So take a second to lengthen the back of your neck. Tuck your shoulder blades under when you're ready. We'll round up through the spine. Again, we might even kind of just imagine that that block is in between our knees. Tightening the belly. And release, lowering your hips to the floor. We can do a few more windshield wipers of the knees, side to side. And then coasting to a stop, whatever movements it takes. If we can, we're just going to rock straight up. But if we need to make some other movements, that's okay too. We're going to rock straight up to seated. And if we can, roll, over onto our hands and knees. Almost didn't make it there. And beginning some cat and cow. So as we inhale, we drop the stomach down. As we exhale, round up through the back body. And as always, I really like to make some other movements feeling into the muscles in my back. So if there's other things that feel good to you, please allow yourself to do those things. And certainly, if it feels best to just go back and forth with the breath as usual, that's great too. And then coasting to a stop. Let's inhale, extend the left leg straight out behind us. Flex your foot, lift as high as you can, hold it. So we're actually gently squeezing the belly in while we're here in this kind of three-legged table position and pushing the floor away. Still breathing. And then that left foot sweeps to the outside of the left hand. Walk your hips forward and down into this pose. And if you are one of the folks that likes to go ahead and lower down to their elbows and forearms, please feel free to do that. Just let your hips relax forward. Breathe into any tension that you feel. And if we are lowered to the elbows and forearms, let's bring our hands under our shoulders and lift ourselves up. We're all going to walk our hands back enough, or walk our seat back enough that our toes pop up to the ceiling. This left hand comes to the outside of the leg and relax forward. If we are comfortable to get a deeper stretch in this, push your heel gently down into the floor and then draw the leg back into the hip side. So you're getting kind of a resistant stretch against the floor. And then relaxing that pressure, let's bring the left hand back to the inside of the leg, walking yourself forward again into our dragon posture. This time, if we'd like to, we can tuck our back toes under and lift the back knee off the floor. And again, we always have the option to lower to the elbows and forearms as well. Breathe. Make your back leg really strong. And then knees relax to the floor, hands come under the shoulders, lift up. We're gonna take that same half split that we did before. So walk your hands back, your toes are gonna pop up towards the ceiling. We can take that left hand to the outside if that's comfortable. And if that resistance stretch felt good, you can do that as well. Try to relax all the muscles in your face. And once again, let's walk ourselves forward into our dragon posture. This time we're gonna make it a twist. So our right hand is gonna stay down, the left arm is gonna extend up. If anybody's super flexible and wants to put a bend in the back knee and grab a hold of the ankle or foot, you're welcome to do that. It's gonna be a deep quad stretch, so don't feel like you have to do that. Rotating open. And starting to release, unwind. Walk yourself back enough that you can one more time take that left leg straight out behind you, flex the foot, lift as high as you can, push the floor away. And now taking that left foot over to the side, we'll place it on the ground, lifting up onto our knee. We're gonna make our way into gate posture. So if you want to keep your foot flat to the ground, that's fine. I like to turn my toes upward. Either way is fine. Our right arm goes up to the ceiling and over. Our palm is facing the floor, reaching through your side body. And just imagine that you're breaking through your ribs with your inhalations. And as we exhale, this top right arm travels to the outside of the right leg. The left arm sweeps up and over. Our hips reach forward. Only drop your head back if that feels okay on your neck. If not, don't do it. Reach. And as we exhale, moving into child's pose. So let's unwind, knees out wide, big toes together, relax. And as we take another breath in, let's lift ourselves up. We'll do all of that on the opposite side. So this time the right leg extends out as far as we can. Again, flex the foot, lift as much as possible. Breathe in. That right foot starts to sweep to the outside of the right hand. Walk your hips forward and down. And if you lower down even further on the other side, you'll want to do that on this side as well. Let's make our way into half split. Hands under the shoulders, lift yourselves up. And walking back enough that your right toes pop up to the ceiling, right hand to the outside. If we thought that resistance stretch felt good, you can push your heel into the floor and draw back, just gentle. And that right hand comes back to the inside one more time. We'll walk our hips forward and down, this time tucking the back toes under, lifting through the back knee. If we want to lower down again, we can push the floor away, make that back leg really strong. Breathe. And releasing the knees to the floor, hands under the shoulders, lift up. Walk yourself back one more time, half split. If we liked that resistance stretch, we can take that one more time. And again, right hand to the inside, walk forward. Taking our twist, the left hand stays down to the mat, the right arm extends up. If we felt comfortable to grab a hold of the back foot, go for it. Breathing, trying to soften into it. Rotating open. and release. Starting to unwind, hip shift back. The right leg one more time, extends back behind us, flex the foot, really lift, push the floor away. As we exhale, let's take the right leg out to the side, place it to the floor, and then lift up so we can make our way into gate pose. So this time the left arm breathes up and over, reach through your side, try to rotate open. And then sweeping that top arm to the outside of the left leg. Push your hips forward. Reach your right arm overhead. Maybe your head drops back, maybe not. And release. Completely unwind one more time, child's pose. Next inhalation, let's lift up onto our hands and knees and then make our way into Sphinx posture. So hips go to the floor, elbows and forearms to the floor. And if we want to stay right here, that's totally fine. And if we'd like to put a bend in the knees to make this a little bit deeper, that's great too. Completely up to you. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe. And then feet relaxed to the floor. We're going to do this in an active way. So press the tops of your feet into the mat. Reach your chest forward. Again, our shoulders are away from our ears. We're resisting the floor. Gently squeeze your belly in. Breathe. and let all of that pressure relax. We're going to make our way into low plank. So you can leave your hands just like this. Sometimes I interlace the fingers and that feels pretty stable to me. Also, either way, we're going to tuck the toes under and lift your hips off the floor, walk your feet forward, tuck your tailbone, push the floor away. And using one hand and then the other, let's lift up into high plank, tucking the tailbone. And then back to down dog. And as always in our down dog position, you can shift and move if that feels good. You can be still if that feels better. And then walking your hands back towards your feet, relax forward. Again, if there's movements we like to make in our forward fold, that's great, go for it. If you want to be still, that's good too. All right, if we are still making movements, let's go ahead and come back to center. With an inhalation, we might start by taking our right leg as high up to the ceiling as we can. And if we feel pretty good there, we might start to stack our hips and take the right arm up to the ceiling as well. Really lift through the back leg, one more breath. And release. Winding back to center. Let's do that on the opposite side. So this time the left leg is going to lift first. And if we want to try to make our way into half moon pose, you can lift the left arm, stack the hips, but you certainly don't have to. And again, starting to release and unwind. Let's walk our hands back out into our down dog position. And then moving into thread the needle. Let's bring our knees to the floor, sink your seat back. The left arm goes out, and the right arm goes underneath. Just feeling 2 more breaths. And then switching sides. Let's lift up and unwind. Our right arm is going to extend out, and the left arm goes underneath. And again, we start to lift up, unwind. We'll move into a twist. Walk yourself forward, lowering your hips. Our left arm extends out in front of us. The right leg goes to the side of the angle. The right arm goes to the side. And then open. Just asking yourself, how deeply can you relax? Let's go ahead and switch sides, starting to unwind. This time the right arm extends out in front of us. The left leg goes to the side at an angle. The left arm goes to the side. And then we open into our twist. Adjusting if we need to, letting everything relax. Just feeling one last breath. And then releasing, unwinding back to center, hands come under the shoulders. Lift yourself up onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes under, lifting back up to down dog. As soon as we get there, we're going to take our right leg up to the ceiling, bend your knees, stack your hips, look out underneath the right arm and breathe into your side. Push the floor away. And as we exhale, let's sweep that leg through to pigeon pose. So the right knee goes behind the right wrist. Our shin is kind of moving towards the direction of horizontal in front of us. It probably won't get all the way there, that's fine. And then relax. One last breath into the right hip. And then our hands come underneath our shoulders. We'll lift up, tuck your back toes under, just like we did Before our pigeon posture, we're gonna unwind that right leg back up and over, rotating open to the ceiling, breathing into your side. And releasing back to down dog. Let's do that with the left leg. We're taking the left leg up and over, rotating open. And then moving into our pigeon posture. So sweeping the left leg forward. Take your time to adjust if you need to, and then relaxing over the left. And beginning to rise. One more time, we'll tuck the back toes under and sweep that left leg back up to the ceiling and over. And then releasing back to down dog. Let's inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Folding forward with an inhalation, or excuse me, with an exhalation, and then rising with an inhalation. Exhaling, hands to the heart space. Let's take triangle posture. So we'll start with the left leg forward. And, excuse me, the right leg takes a pretty decent sized step back. Let's turn that back foot forward, heels in one line. Arms to a big letter T. We'll reach out as far as we can first, and then tipping over into our triangle posture. Gently pressing your feet into the floor. And as we exhale, let's take that right hand down to the mat. Our back heel is going to spin up, and then relaxing the right knee to the floor. Arms come up overhead. sinking your hips forward. Exhale, release your hands down, tuck your back toes under. We'll make our way back into a forward fold. So inhale, step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to the heart space. And we'll do that the opposite way and then move into Shavasana. So this time the right leg stays forward, the left leg steps back. Take your time to adjust your stance. When you're ready, bring your arms out and reach forward, tipping over. As we exhale, start to move into that low warrior position. Top arm comes down, the left knee goes to the floor, arms come up, either overhead like warrior one or behind the head if that feels good. And exhale. This time we're going to bring our hands to the floor and step back to down dog. Let's relax our knees to the mat and starting to make whatever movements it takes to come onto your back body. Extending your legs out, long through the spine. Shoulder blades stop. See if you can relax a little bit more. And from here, our breath begins to deepen. Then making whatever smaller, subtle movements we'd like to make. Start to wake the body back up, probably through the hands and feet, maybe rocking the head. Anything else that feels good. And then one final big wake up stretch. Reach your arms overhead. Inhale deep. And as we exhale, taking our time to come up to a tall seated position. Bringing our hands to prayer. Taking the final opportunity for this practice to notice how you feel. As well as that moment of gratitude for yourself, everyone who joined us for practice. And we'll all remember to take that same meditative attention with us throughout the rest of our day as well. Thank you all for being here. Namaste.